I think all of us who have followed Indian retail over the last few years have seen that everybody was on this mad expansion spree. I mean, including big and small, whether it was a franchisee, who had a store, wanted to open 5, big companies expanded aggressively, and I think it was completely unnecessary. I remember at various industry fora over the last 10 years, emphasizing that, this is crazy, don't do it. You're cooking your own goose. I in fact remember even telling some friends who wanted to expand their small franchise networks, don't do it. The math is not going to stack up in your favor. Sometimes advice is not taken well. They did expand, they lost a lot of money and had to close down. But many of them, who were smart and held back, perhaps were wiser. I think in that whole process of expansion, it was all about, I will have so many square feet, this is the market rent, this is my procurement rent, the spread is into so many multiples is my market value. And that was complete madness, which was not sustainable. And I think it is only in the recent, probably the last 12 to 16 months, that this whole concept of efficiency in retail is being spoken of. For me, the mantra or the only thing that matters in retail efficiency is single store profitability. Is the individual store profitable? Is it viable? If it is not profitable today, are you seeing the trend lines moving towards profitability? If not, I think you shouldn't be in that business. For me, it's the people, whether it's the store owner, the franchise owner, the staff, the back-end staff, who make retailing and franchising efficient or inefficient. If that person believes that you need to run it well, they will. If they don't, whatever you try, whatever elaborate, computerized systems you have, it won't work. And finally, I think it's not very legible, but there are tools available to learn the science of retail. There are Indian tools, there are international tools. I think we just need to use them. So that, in essence, is the summary of what I have to say. We'll go into a little bit of detail on some of each of these. For me, there are 2 stages. One is the planning stage and the other is the execution stage. Most of us in India don't do justice to either of them. But let's go to each of them. And I think, the planning stage is often even more neglected in India. I think the key is to plan and evaluate store viability and later portfolio construct. When I use the phrase portfolio construct, it means how many stores or franchisees or franchises you have in different locations and over what period of time. For me, it is very important to do this at great amount of length of detail, preparation, advance information, and really trying to get as much information you can at this stage. The other part that I think most of us do not do well is sales forecasting. Most of I've seen franchisees in Madura, they would approach me, very wealthy people from Aurangabad, Bareilly, Visakhapatnam, and they would say, no, my son, I want to open a business for him, so, here's 50 lakhs and let's open the store. So I would say, okay, where's the location? Yeah, we have this property, a beautiful shopping center, etc., etc. Okay, what will you sell? I think we can sell 10, 15 lakhs a month. You can't start a retail business like that. And oftentimes I've seen the sales forecasting is the weakest. And if you do that wrong, really speaking, you shouldn't be doing this business. And then you get to execution, which is when the store really opens. And that's where, the difficult part is, because a lot of us do not invest enough in preparing for the execution stage. Is my staff trained? We do not invest even 1 rupee on training. Why? When you can improve your profitability, you can improve your productivity by better trained staff. Why won't you do it? Similarly, Indians by nature do not like systems and processes. And that is one of our big weaknesses as a nation. We do not want discipline. Two other facets that I think we have begun to do is monitor and review. Track the sales every day, every week, whatever system you want to put into your place. If you have a furniture store, you don't need to track every hour. But if you have a grocery store, you may need to track every hour. But monitor your performance, monitor individual employees' performance, and review it every day, every week, every month, whatever you. Certainly to me, it cannot be more than a week. I would say an outer review would be a week. And finally, reward and recognize your people. We don't do a good job of this at all. We need to reward and recognize people. Now in organized retail, you see salesperson of the month, employee of the month. Now that has also become very boring, and most people treat it with a certain, okay, so what? But if you are an entrepreneur and you're running your own franchise, give the salesperson 500 rupees. Yeah, what does it matter? Now, if I give it to him once, he will expect it all the time. Come on. If you make money once, don't you expect to make money all the time? You do. But it's about how you engage your staff and how do you reward them. So, for me, a lot of the efficiency of retail comes from these two phases. And if you do justice to one out of the two, it's not enough. You have to do justice to both of them as they pan out. Single store efficiency is really three key pillars. There's product, there's staff, and there's the brand or the concept, whatever you call it. Most of us do not do justice to product assortment because maal kam rakhna hai, inventory kam rakhni hai. And that's a recipe for disaster. I have seen very, very successful one-store retailers telling me that their only thing they did right was manage inventory. And if you can get your inventory right, if you can get your assortment right, I think you've done 60-70% of your job. People. I have always believed that, and we all know this, and it was true, if you give peanuts, you will get monkeys. I remember, I was a big believer in the role of women in retailing. In my opinion, retailing is actually best suited for women, not for men. And certainly in the men's apparel business, I strongly believe that women will give better justice to a fashion sense, a little bit of grooming sense as well. Again, to support and help these people, you need operating systems. You need those back-end systems. What is your inventory in the shop, in the store of the store? What is your storeroom stock? How much is pending in the mother warehouse? What is your lead time between stock out at store and feeding in from mother's store? You need a system to feed inventory, to feed your staff, to give your staff enough weapons or tools to engage the consumer. And that's really why people and operating systems are so critical. And lastly, it's the brand, it's your concept. You'll be surprised at how innovative new concepts have succeeded, of course, in many other countries, but in India. There is a concept in Forum Mall in Bangalore called Nick Nish. I don't know if any of you have seen it. It's worked phenomenally well. You see small ice creams that are being run by young women who have just started a small business. Local ice cream. Work like a dream. Some international brands have come and failed in India. Why? Because they didn't get their mix right, or their concept was not relevant to the Indian consumer, or they didn't educate the Indian consumer enough about what it is or why is it good for them. So it's your concept, it is your story. Why should the consumer buy your product? And if you can get these three pillars right, again it's simple, it's not as complicated as it looks. If you can get these three pillars right, I think you have a very, very solid business that can be efficient, and your single store will make money.